Hello and welcome to my RD's video training program on the vegetable colored subgroups for the National School Lunch Program and School Breakfast Program. Every week there are certain vegetable subgroups that are required as a weekly minimum. So there are different amounts that are required in elementary K through 8 and in high school. But basically our different categories are dark green, red orange, beans and peas or legumes, starchy, and other groups. So the subgroup that we really have to watch for is the red orange group, because whereas dark green and beans and peas and starchy and other are usually not a worry so long as you serve half of a cup minimum, your red orange needs to be 3/4 cup for grades K through 8, and for grades 9 through 12 high school, you need to serve a minimum of 1 1/4 cup of red orange per week. So that means that basically the best way to approach this for the school is to serve every fruit or vegetable serving in a minimum half cup portion size. And just remember that for red orange, you will need to serve red orange twice a week for K through 8 and 3 times a week for high school 9 through 12. So let's talk real quick about some of the nuances of our colored subgroups. In general, your colored subgroups follow what you would think they would be, such as carrots are red-orange vegetables, and broccoli is a dark green vegetable. But the ones that I'm going to point out right now will help you remember which ones are not in the categories you may think they are in. So the first one would be in the dark green subgroup. You will not see iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce it falls under the other subgroup. Also in the dark green subgroup, you will not see green beans. Green beans also fall in the other subgroup. Basically, most of us fulfill the dark green requirement by putting broccoli and sometimes kale and spinach and romaine lettuce on our menus. That's probably 95% of the time. That's how we fulfill the dark green requirement. For red orange, notice that yellow bell peppers are not in the red orange group, but we can fulfill this requirement with carrots, sweet potatoes or yams, and tomato products. For the beans and peas group, basically these are all of our beans and lentils. It's also edamame, which is nice to have, especially if you want to serve something that's a little bit more like finger foods for the beans and peas group. Please notice that in this group, there are not green peas. Green peas are not green, and they're not in the peas group. They're actually found in the starchy group. So no green peas in here, and also no green beans. Green beans are not in the beans group. They, again, just like not in the green group, not in the bean group, they're here in the other group. And so moving on to starchy. Starchy is our corn, our potatoes, our green peas, and if you have a salad bar, I recommend either doing canned corn or jicama. Those are great ways to fulfill your starchy requirement and not have to serve something hot. And then finally, we have our other subgroup. The other group, actually, oddly enough, is kind of just all this extra stuff. But the strange thing is that you cannot count, you can count any of these other subgroups, dark green, red, orange, beans, and peas, as other vegetables. So you really actually don't have to serve an other vegetable. You could serve just tons of carrots or a lot of these other subgroups, except for starchy. Starchy vegetables do not count as an other food. So other is basically everything you can think of in any of these other groups, actually, minus starchy. And there's kind of a funny reason behind that, and that is because originally the way the rules were written, there was going to be a limitation on potatoes, but USDA had some serious lobbying that they were dealing with, so they removed the potato requirement that there was a limit on potatoes, but somehow that, like, you can use other groups as you couldn't use starchy as an other group. That kind of stayed on despite the fact that they removed the potato limitation. So that's it. If you want to access this specific handout, this is found on the Connecticut State Department website at www.ste.ct.gov. And that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye-bye.